Welcome, A's Day fans, to another edition, a new episode, but we'll be doing something a little bit different now, all the way up until opening day. Welcome to the first edition of the A's Player Profile and Prediction, where I will be going all around the diamond, all throughout the rotation and the bullpen for each guy that will make the opening day roster or who project to or make some sort of significant contribution to the 2025 team. We'll be talking about one player a day all the way up until the day before opening day, upon which on the morning of their first game, which is March 27th, we will be releasing a team profile prediction for the Athletics for the 2025 season as a whole. So we're very excited to start this one today, all the way up through opening day, like we mentioned. We will be starting behind the dish with starting catcher Shea Langeliers. So for A's fans out there, maybe just a refresher or some facts you already know. But for our newer A's fans, maybe some of our local Sacramento area that may be learning each of the players on this team for the first time as the A's ramp up to play in Sacramento as their home for the first time ever. This is going to be a great way. We're going to have little episode shorts each day, about 10 to 15 minutes at most, where we'll talk a little bit about each player, what they did in 2024, some things to look out for in 2025, and our overall stat line prediction. So very short, just want us to all familiarize ourselves with the guys on this A team and perhaps teach some new fans about some new guys that they know nothing about. So it's going to reach all of the fan bases and looking forward to being educational, but also entertainment purposeful too as well. So thank you for joining today. We're going to get right into the episode after the opening music. So Holy Toledo, it's another show. Let's. All right. Thank you so much again for tuning in to today's show. We are going to jump right in and talk about our first A's players. So with that, we are going to discuss Shea Langeliers, the starting catcher for your A's coming into the 2025 season. So I'm going to kick off by just giving you a little bit of a couple of facts about him, about where he was born, where he grew up, his draft stats, all of that good stuff. So Shea Langeliers, he was born in Portland, Oregon. He actually played his high school baseball and I guess moved to Keller, Texas. He played at Keller High School before staying in Texas for his college playing days, attending Baylor University. So going from the West Coast to a Texas upbringing and collegiate career, certainly staying on the western half of the country. He, like I mentioned, is the starting catcher for the A's. He's listed as 6 foot, 205 pounds. Definitely a good build for a durable catcher. His father, Steve, actually grew up a Mets fan. And a little fun fact for, maybe some of those A's fans may know this already, but a lot may not. Shea Langeliers was actually named after the Mets' old stadium, which was in Queens, New York, which was called Shea Stadium. So that's why Langeliers has the name Shea. Shea Langeliers named after the old Mets Stadium. So very cool fact that I don't believe I had actually heard before. So here I am learning with some of you out there. So very cool. At the conclusion of his college career, after his junior year, I believe, he was drafted by the Atlanta Braves 9th overall. So he was the 9th overall pick in the 2019 MLB draft. He came up in the Braves system. I believe he made it up to Double-A through the 2021 season before being shipped off as part of a trade between the Atlanta Braves and, at the time, Oakland Athletics, where Langeliers was part of a package. Came to Oakland. Matt Olson went to Atlanta. And since then, the A's have gotten their catcher, who seems to have gotten better each year. His first game, he only played 40 games. He got called up at the end of August. He really showed his potential in 2023 and this past season too as well. The average has been increasing. The power is increasing too as well. I'll give you a little bit of a line of what he did this past season in 2024. We want to focus and discuss what he's done most recently. He's really ascended and really coming to his own. Really looking forward to seeing what 2025 looks for him. But his line looks as follows. He had a 224 batting average, 29 home runs, 80 runs batted in. with a 739 OPS in 137 games. So the power numbers, the 29 home runs, that was a lot by catchers. That ranks second in all of Major League Baseball. And runs batted in, he had 80, which ranked fifth in all of Major League Baseball, both out of all the catchers in the whole league. So certainly towards the top of the league in terms of power numbers. He did also accrue an above average fly ball percentage, which was a 44%. So you do believe that as long as his swing trend stays in that area, he is going to continue to have that sustained power and success at the plate. So nothing really bad here. Nothing but good things that I've seen so far. I'd say the one thing is that he can continue to sharpen his craft behind the plate. It is important to, now he's getting into his full third season. There's more of an expectation. He's seen a lot of these hitters, especially throughout the AL West, but the AL as a whole too as well. So it's really going to be key and crucial for him to take that next step in his development where he becomes elite behind the plate in terms of handling some of these younger pitchers on the staff. And I know they brought in Severino and Springs, who do have some good experience on the mound, but the back half still on the younger half. So really important to have that backstop, that stalwart that I really believe Langeliers can be for this year and for years to come. So that's actually the first expectation I have for him this year. I want to see some of those catch framing numbers improve. I do believe that we're going to see a power increase too as well. The A's obviously are transitioning from Oakland to Sacramento. They're actually going to be playing in a minor league park, Sutter Health Park in Sacramento. So there is that expectation. Oakland was really revered as a pitcher's park. Playing in a minor league park, a smaller park, you envision that the ball is going to travel out of the yard at a higher rate. And this is a team that did hit for some power last year. So really excited to see what that looks like. And I think Langeliers is going to be a big proponent of that in the middle of the lineup. And I'm expecting an all-star season for him. Obviously, the batting average, it's not really taken into consideration, but that's usually towards the lower end. For catchers as a whole, obviously they have a lot more to deal with. They're in every pitch. They get beat up every day. So obviously there's not that expectation of as much offense as some other position players. But whatever you can get there would be a plus. But I do see an increase there too as well. I just think he's going to continue to hone his craft. Would love to see the walk percentage creep up a little bit from 6%. Even if you get to that 9% range, that OPS is going to climb between the on-base percentage. But really, I think the significant increase in power production too as well. And he had 29 home runs last year. So that must mean gives away one of my predictions that I do think he's going to be a 30-plus home run guy. On top of that, I'm going to say he is going to be a 2025 AL All-Star catcher. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be a starter. In one shape or form, he is going to be on the All-Star team. I do think where he ranked last year was the tip of the iceberg. I do think that development is going to continue, especially having other positive production in the middle of the lineup with Lawrence Butler, and Brent Rooker. I do think it's going to be a great formula for success where those guys are just going to be feeding off of each other. If he does earn that All-Star nod, which I do think is well within reach, he'll actually be the first A's catcher to do so since 2016 when Stephen Vogt, who's actually the current Cleveland Guardians manager and was the 2024 AL Manager of the Year, did it himself when he was catching for the A's. So that was back, like I said, in 2016. Would be cool if Langeliers could end that streak. I think he has a shot to do so. Just like Rooker ended the Silver Slugger streak for an A, which hadn't been done, I think, since about 2002 with Eric Chavez. Rooker broke that streak. Let's see 2025 Langeliers breaks another one. So here is my predicted stat line for him. Based on how he's really transitioned from 2023 to 24, took into account ballpark factors and also other guys in the lineup. I think just the A's being built to be a better team in 2025 than they have the last couple of years. Stat numbers are going to reflect that up and down the lineup. So here's what we got. I'm going to say he's going to catch 138 games. Average is going to increase from 225 in 2024 to 246 in 2025. I think he's going to show a little bit more plate discipline. That walk rate is going to increase, which will lead to more opportunities to increase the batting average a little bit too as well. I see 34 home runs, 88 RBIs. So 5 more home runs, 8 more ribbies. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple more in there too as well. Really tough to fully project how the ball's going to travel in Sacramento. So didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. But I do think you're going to see guys increase across the board. We'll get to some of those other guys as we move along here with our player profile and predictions. And also see a 778 OPS, and probably is going to round out in that 5 hole, which I think is going to be perfect. A lot of opportunities for Langeliers to have run scoring opportunities, and they're going to need him to cash in, and I think he will. Okay, and that's an episode. See that's how these are going to go. Looking just about 12 minutes for today. We'll be right around, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes for each player. Just want to give you a little taste of what we're thinking about each guy, what they did last year, some things to look ahead for 2025. And it won't all be the same. The format will be similar, but the information is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, some guys have different facts about themselves. We're hoping all the numbers are going to point up in terms of our predictions, but we're going to tell it like it is. So if we think someone may take a half a step back or whatnot, well, so be it, just depending on their development and situation in terms of games played, whatever it may be. But we're going to shoot it straight. We're just going to give you our honest opinion, but we are very high on these A's this year. Obviously, a lot of these episodes are going to have a lot of positivity wrapped in them. So very excited to be able to do that. Again, thank you so much for tuning in today. Give a quick shout out to our social media. You can find us on Instagram at A's Day Baseball Podcast, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at A's Day Baseball, on YouTube, where you can find these video podcast editions available, and other of our content from spring training in Mesa, as well as any other content trips that we do moving forward, as well as our podcast episodes. You can find it on our YouTube channel at A's Day Podcast. And please, please, please be an official subscriber. Join us on our Patreon, patreon.com/A's Day, where you'll be entered into monthly drawings to potentially win an A's Day t-shirt, as well as exclusive A's Day tickets, merchandise, memorabilia, and so much more as our platform continues to grow. So be a Patreon member today, only $2 a month. You'll be glad you did, and you'll help us grow to be the #1 stop for everything A's baseball. All right, so how these are going to work, like I mentioned at the top of the episode, 1 episode a day. So the next one will be out tomorrow. We'll be talking about the next A's player. So very much looking forward releasing these day by day, because that means with each release, with each listen, we're 1 day closer to opening day on March 27th. So thank you so much. That's all for today from A's Day. I hope each and every one of you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Shea Langeliers. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you back here behind the mic tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Holy Toledo, take care. The river finally finds its sweet relief. And I got down, looking for the Delta Queen.